Just want to make sure everything's working correctly. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of whenever I see the market opens this much this morning, so I don't know, man. Like I said, we're not a big fan here. We will just have to see. So we did kind of leave a data wick. I'm not really sure what that is up there at the 380. I don't know if that's Trump news. I haven't really looked, but I didn't recall us having news this morning for some reason. I thought it was, or it might have been CPI numbers today. So let's go over here and look at the news real quick. Dude, I hope we just dump today, honestly, if I had to choose. I just hope we just sell off like crazy. So, mm, yeah, see, it had to be like some kind of Trump news this morning. Not really sure what that was. A lot of insane movement before the market opens this morning. So, mm. Let's see here. 71 to 33. What time is it? We still got about 7 more minutes before the print of our opening candle. Uh, if the candle was more than, say, 60, 70 points, we're going to be very eerie about it. I don't feel like getting a destroyed Wednesday because I got impatient today or didn't like the setup. So we're just going to be careful this morning. We don't want to erase our good trade from yesterday because we had a fairly decent trade in the yesterday's opening, and we don't want that to happen again. Right now, you're already looking at a basically a 50 point move, so which is still manageable. 50 points I can deal with, but I don't really want it any bigger than 50 points. 70 points, you're looking at 35 points as far as the stop loss goes. So I kind of want to see us sell down 200 or 300 points. I want to go all the way back down to the previous day high, previous day close, open, and hell, I wouldn't even mind seeing previous day low. I mean, just just have a big nice sell off today. But it's very tough to short lately with us moving into all time highs, man. It's just it's almost like you're almost put in a situation where you just need to keep longing until longs just fail. I mean, because we're just going straight up. So it's even now with a possible big pullback, it's still very difficult to want to look for shorts. So we'll just kind of have to just wait and see what happens. Let me get this set up. Oh, okay. So that was basically some kind of oil war news with Iran uh, this morning. So that's kind of what drove that 180 points, 140 points within a few minutes. Yeah, I bet you oil. Oh yeah, it's all oil driven. So oil dropped all the way back down to 87. I don't know if you noticed lately, it's like if oil has been doing basically, you could almost hedge oil and NASDAQ together. So anytime you see oil just dumping and selling off, NASDAQ is going up. So it's vice versa. So if you see oil looking bullish, what's up, man? It says, I would like to trade with you on the NASDAQ. I'm not sure what you're asking. What's up, man? How are you doing? Yeah, I'm kind of thinking we kind of maybe dump off today. I feel like oil was probably going to push back up after that big pullback then. But it's been so hard to short lately with the market just going straight up. It's just constant highs. It's just like we have not had a break. We had one little break last week, but it just keeps going and going and going. But we'll see what happens. Unfortunately, we might not be able to. Yeah, I know. It's so hard to get shorts lately, man. It's almost like you're better off just taking longs nonstop until the longs fail. That's basically all I've been doing too, is just looking for longs. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't mind just seeing us take another run for the previous day low down at 29,743. I would even be okay with that kind of, big pullback today, but who knows? It's been a very tough May, not tough May, but tough like going all the way back to April where we've just been going straight up with all these all-time highs. A lot of grindy price action. So it's definitely made it a little bit difficult. I feel like I had a struggling April, kind of beginning of May price action. Kind of hoping to get back in a rhythm moving into June. I just feel like it's been pretty tough since the new contracts came out in June. Does the Bitcoin and Nasdaq kind of stay together? See, that I'm not sure about cuz I don't ever look at Bitcoin. I didn't know how well they were related to each other, as far as like if they hedge one another. Like a lot of times I watch the ES. Okay, so it's the ETFs of Bitcoin on the Nasdaq that draw. Okay, I guess I didn't really think about Bitcoin ETFs being on Nasdaq. I didn't know that. Wow, Bitcoin. See, I haven't looked at Bitcoin prices in a while. I didn't know Bitcoin. Didn't it get back over 80,000 or no? Recently? I guess we can look real quick. It's not like got a lot going on here. Let's see. Yeah, it was just at 80,000. It's at 76 right now. Okay. Yeah, the only Bitcoin or crypto that I've been buying lately is just probably a little bit of XRP. That's been it. That's the clue today is for Nasdaq to fall like gold. Let's see. Mm. Good morning, AJ. How are you doing today? Sorry I didn't get to your message there a little sooner. Yeah, I wish I knew a little bit more about the VIX. I know I get um that is something that I've been meaning to look into for a while. Because I know a lot of people like to watch the VIX and kind of as far as the volatility goes, or just kind of get an idea where the market's going to go. And I've never really took the time to mess with the VIX. We pretty much just do. Okay, so it just kind of like. So does that like when does the VIX reset then? Whenever you're looking at it for like information as far as the numbers, is this something that just resets every day and it kind of stays there, or does it move out through the day? It stays? Okay. See, that's what I didn't really understand the first time I went over and looked at it. I didn't see it move, and I just like, what's going I didn't, like I said, I've never paid much attention to the VIX. So as soon as you look at it, you kind of get an idea by based on the numbers. 70 plus means crash, then then so that's the line in the sand for the 70. Okay. Unfortunately, guys, I'm not sure if we're going to take the opening breakout this morning. Just the fact that this thing is 70 points. So you would need to have a 35-point stop loss. So not sure if we'll be able to take the opening breakout this morning. And that's just a straight mechanical trade. So the sweet spot is kind of between that 40 and 50 range. And so basically that would make our stop loss would have to be a lot bigger. So we don't not sure if we'll take that trade this morning. Uh, excuse me. I think I have everything ready to go. Don't want to lose track of time. We still got about 9 minutes left. Uh, Most days we're probably taking trades probably within the first 15 minutes if we're not going to take that opening trade this morning. Is there anybody that's here in the lobby that likes to trade the opening, or most of you guys stay away from the opening? So almost every single one of my funded trades come at the opening within that first 10 to 15 minutes on most days. So we always look for the opening trade first thing in the morning. Oh, that's one thing I did forget to 230. Uh, got a pivot there. Next pivot down is going to be at 125. Nice, probably a nice bounce this morning off that 25 area. We'll mark out other pivots after we get through the two that were around. So you got one that's at 230 and the other is at 125 for anybody that likes to trade pivots. The NQ will take late buyers liquidity. Let's see. I used to have those marked out. I haven't really had those marked out in a little bit, where it kind of marks out the previous highs and lows. Let's see what this is here. Let's see. Dude, if we can get to those London lows, what's that, 30.50? That'd be a nice big move down for the London lows. Hmm. Uh, like I said, I don't know if we'll be able to take the break. I don't know. What do y'all think? Should we? We can attempt the breakout. The only thing I hate about it, it's like right there below that 200 level. And you know me, I hate taking trades into the whole numbers, but I definitely feel like the move is probably to the downside a little bit this morning. Unless we get back above 230. So 230 would be my long bias back to the top. But mm, I think it is. Well, it's not that it's not too much for it. The only thing is, AJ, is the stop loss. Your stop loss would have to be 50% of that total move. So you would have to have a 35-point stop loss. And my kind of sweet spot is around 20 to 25. Or you can downsize. I mean, that would be the other option. I do like to move to the downside. I'd like to pull back, you know, even into the 25s or the previous day high down there at the 20s. Because I feel like once you get through this consolidation, there's really not much holding us down all the way down to 140 until you run into this here. Well, you do got the top of your other 4-hour candle at 60. So that would be your next resistance. I mean, we can try dropping it. It would need to pull back into the 15 minutes a little bit. No liquidity. It will take the buyers. Make sure we got 1 minute left here. Hmm. In case we decide to drop it, we'll see what happens. It could just go straight down. 10 seconds. Mm. Yeah, no opportunity to grab that. So there's that first resistance at 60. Next resistance through the 60 is probably going to be down to the 40 or 38. Then the next, man, we could get a nice bounce off of that 25 to 20 down there. Hmm. Nice bounce off the pivot. For say I wouldn't be surprised this thing goes all the way back up to that 15-minute candle. What's up, man? Why'd they suspend your account? They give you a reason for doing that? Oh, you had the same IP address on two accounts. Okay, I've heard someone say that before. Right. Yeah, I've heard that before online somewhere else too. That happened to somebody else because they lived in the same household. This feel like it's been a long 5-minute candle, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Man. I feel like this thing just goes straight back up, man. Just kind of being patient. I don't know. Like, as long as we stay above the previous session high in that pivot, I mean, I'm still long bias. There's a lot of consolidation in that area. Yeah, I don't usually use a lot of different, I guess, prop firms. I just use the main three that I usually trade with is the Elusive, and my funded futures. May get a nice bounce off the previous day open and close down here. Those are the only two I use right at the moment. It really depends on if you don't want to spend. I guess it depends on how much money you want to spend up front or on the back end. Man, look at that current day open. Give a nice freaking 20-point ripper. Mm. Dude, it just blasted that midnight candle too at what, 99? That was also the London low. You're waiting at 35. Dude, ES is looking ugly at the moment. I just feel like this could possibly be a nice bounce spot here. That's also 43 would be the man, this thing is just blasting. This thing's just blasting every single level. Woo! Insane, insane. Uh, Looking for a push back up here. Only thing about shorting down here is you're shorting into the 30,000. Damn. Like I said, just still being patient. We still got a minute left on the next 5-minute candle. $8.44. Yeah, I'm waiting for a new 5-minute candle here. Kind of want to see the 30,000 hold here. Whew. Dude, what an insane move to the downside. What time is it? All right, so this is the first 15-minute candle here. Hmm. Runner may get stopped out here. Fuck. Runner got stopped out. Yeah, I played that super tight because I wasn't sure. Oh, man, that should have been my 30 points. That was a dirty. I get very iffy whenever we sold down this much without any kind of pullback. Yesterday's we had a low recovery of that 25 on the ES yesterday that we had a nice breakout on the ES. Like I said, we still got the previous day low sent down at 743. What's up, man? How are you doing? I kind of like to see this hold for us to push back down. You kind of like to see that hold there. Then Really don't consider it long unless we get back above the 60s. And that's back inside that 4-hour candle. Remember, you don't want to long into the bottom of your 4-hour candle at 54. Like I said, looking for us to get through this 253 here. Liking the longs here above 53. $52. I'm probably only going to risk 10 points on this trade, though. Dude, come on. Hit that right at it. May get stopped out on my runner. I'm playing that too tight because that was already my second trade. For some reason, we're copy trading across all of our accounts. I feel like you could get a lot more off of that, but we're copy trading 3 funded accounts. So we're just looking for little wins. That's all we're looking for. I just know we're at the bottom of that 4-hour low. Now, if we can print this next candle and it holds above 53, I will try the long again. Because I just don't want to get trapped. Just remember, you're at the bottom of the 4-hour candle. This thing could easily go in the opposite direction on us. So you got to be careful at the bottom of these higher time frames. This is why you see me going to break even fairly quick on some of these trades. Push. Remember that 53 should have been your line in the sand. You should not hold that below 53. Dude, look at that nasty trap. Still looking for us to get back above 53 to try to re-enter. But like I said, 53 should be your line in the sand. That's your previous day open / the bottom of your 4-hour candle. All right, getting back above our level again. Whoosh. Mm. Super trappy at the moment, guys. What's up, ICANN? How are you doing today? Going pretty good so far. We haven't really caught no runners. We've been at least hitting our 10 points, but no runners yet. So just 10-point trades, and runners have gotten stopped out. What's up, Ultrasound? Man, here's our. There's not enough time on this 5-minute candle to enter. We're going to wait for the new 5-minute candle here in 15 seconds. And as long as this thing can wick into that previous day open session and kind of hold there. Like I said, 53 is the line in the sand. Ah. Shit. 50. Oof. I got to put my thing on the close button in case we lose that 53. We lose 53, we'll just close this. It looks like it wants to push down, though. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, we'll have to close that. That sucks. It still could go, but that's just my risk tolerant on my accounts, guys. Oh, look at this thing's gonna go fucking without me. Yeah, it's gonna go without it. Son of a bitch, man. That's just so dirty. I feel darn. I feel like I was done dirty on that one. Dirty, 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 guys. Yeah, it's just like I said, I keep a very tight stop loss on a lot of my trades. So kind of looking for the pivot up there. Nice if you stayed in that trade. Dude, that was like 40 something points. Lately, I have considered just entering on one micro, just since I only usually enter on three, and that way, I don't know, did my charts freeze up? They did. I think my charts froze up, guys. My charts are frozen. What the crap? Uh, like I said, my charts are frozen. Yeah, I've been thinking about doing that lately, Nick, on some of these play morning times where we have these big candles, because it's almost every day I have the direction picked right, but I just can't handle the pullback on some of these small accounts. That's the only downside to trading small accounts. There we go. Yeah, for some reason my stuff is freezing up. What the crap, man? Son of a. All right, let me just shut down my ninja. That's the only thing I can do. Sorry about that. Like I said, all my charts are freezing up. Hmm. Nice short candle coming up here. No, not really sure what's going on with my stuff here, guys. Um, it was that ES chart that was doing it. Okay. Thanks. I don't know if it was having to load too many days or what. I wonder if this would be the pullback for the move higher here. So this would be your next swing down. $22 seconds for new candle. Thinking we sell off here. Dude, this thing is so trippy. Or trappy. Yeah, I know. I still like the longs back above 53. Still got 2.5 minutes left on this 5-minute candle. It looks like it's about ready to continue breaking. Still a lot of resistance at that 53 level. That is the bottom of your 4-hour candle. I wish we can get like a nice little candle close right above that 4-hour low and then have a little wick into kind of like what we got a while ago before we kind of got wicked out on this move here before it pushed up. Still got a minute 20 seconds, so a lot of time for us to push up here. It's different if you're brand new to them, Nick. I'm not sure the exact price. I think it's a little bit cheaper if you're new to them. It's kind of like when you buy the Lucif accounts, how it's a little cheaper when you're brand new. Oh, you got in again? Mm. I was hoping for a better looking close than what we got here. Wow. This thing's just dirty, 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 guys. You got to be overly cautious, man. These whips are like 40 points. I mean, these whips are just so massive right now that it is so easy to get whipped out. When you got candles whipping 40 points within like 10 seconds, I mean, that's just insane. Something's brewing. I didn't know if we get another retest of that pivot at the 50s. As soon as we broke that leg, that's what we were going to short. Runner got jammed. Dude, every runner has gotten stopped out today. My goodness. Yeah, we're keeping a tight stop loss because how whippy it is today. Still liking the shorts here. We're about to have a new candle. Yeah, shorty below my pivot. I had a pivot at 51. That blue line we had marked out, that's a pivot. All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm being super cautious today. It's just some of these whips, man, have me a little on the nervous side. Now I will look for a retest of that 50. If we get the retest of that 51, that's kind of like retesting that pivot. You can see that that was a nice pivot hit for that big move back up. I mean, it's 140 points back up off that pivot. I definitely like this target of 743 to the downside if you got the boys to hold it. I think somebody else said another target's 844. That's the top of yesterday's. They got a 4-hour candle mark down there at that. Looks like at that range. sell again. More red incoming. Dude, look at these Rico candles, dude. It's just downtown on the Rico candles. Look at the Ricos. Those things just on a roll. Damn it. Hmm. Trying to wait for one more 5 minute candle if we can. Is that the 844? Are you the one that said 844 a while ago? Yeah, I wish I had it in me to take that. Yeah, 51 is kind of the level right at the moment, guys. Hmm. Right now, we're just kind of pounding against that 151 pivot there. Or not 151, but 951. That's the pullback. Oh, in the 1 minute, that was a pullback. Dude, look at that pivot pay. Fucking 50 points, man. I still couldn't grab it. I just wasn't sure, man. Pivot hit right on the money. Yeah, you got to be aggressive to take that, man. I just couldn't grab it. I mean, it was, oh, shoot. Ah, shoot. I'm not liking this. I hate that it didn't go right away. All right, we just had to get out of that. Ugh, that was just freaking crazy. Still at that 51 level. Yeah, definitely very choppy at the moment. Long was the play. Like to see a pullback into the 60s here. Oh, was that just a trap? No buy, it's a trap. So true. But QQ is trying to break structure. Blast. Get through that 30,000, man. It's like we would get a nice push, what, up to at least 43? What about the 2960 level? Come on, look at get that 40 level up there. I may consider something above the current session open and close. Are you looking for a sell up here? I do like the 3 flag kind of pullback here. 3 candle pullback. Did you end up taking that short? Woo, she almost knocked over my cup. I was waiting for this new 5-minute candle. I figured we got. I try not to buy. I try not to buy into trade so close to the end of 5-minute candles. We only got 15 seconds left on this candle. What time is it? Did you take your short? Hmm. Like I said, just kind of being patient, waiting. You're thinking 200. Are you in a long right now, Nick? We've been trading one, two, three, four. We've been trading between like 5 different accounts. Just kind of rotating. Oh, no account. Oh. Uh Evals with a Bulenox you can pick up for 15 bucks, man, if you just want something to trade cheap. Yeah, it's the same. It's just husk. I want to say 25Ks or $15 and 50Ks maybe 20. But that's right. You don't use Ripnik though. I've remembered that. That's right. All right. About to have a new 5-minute candle. No, I don't think so. Not with Bulenox. I want to say with them, it's either Ninja or Quantower. Kind of creating a little idiot box here. This thing is so trappy right now, guys. Are you in a trade right now, I can? Are you kind of sitting on the sideline? So, uh, yeah, that's kind of what I was waiting on too. But man, we'd have to get to me. We would need to break back below this low here, the 75s. We keep running to resistance at the 75s. And this trade will be an eval trade. I got to keep up with time here. We still got about 20 so more minutes to see if we can find an entry. I just don't want to jump in that short and it'd be another little trap. The good old NQ's me a nasty today. Excuse me. Previous day session open is that 4-hour candle. So is Nick is elusive? Is that like guaranteed like suspended? With elusive? Like there's no way of getting your account back? Are you in your short? Excuse me. Oh, your stop loss is above the wick up there. Kind of stuck in the consolidation box here. This is the 5 minutes. There's the first break of our box there. Nice on the short, man. I just was going to be patient, wait for me to break out of this consolidation box before I felt more comfortable waiting for the consolidation box to break. So that green candle. I don't know. I was just watching the good old consolidation box. That's all I was watching for. So. Mm. Can you not set up a new account, or does it not work that way with a different email address? He lost 5 accounts by them. Did they cancel his stuff too? Hmm. I want to say that other pivot is if we can slay below the 51, 54, that's the kind of the line in the sand there. 54. Oh, Trump is speaking this evening, DB. So this is where you need to see it just kind of wick back into 54 and hold. Yeah, but that shouldn't matter if he's copying your trade as long as he's on his own stuff. So our one level held, which was the 54. That was the level we needed to hold. Hmm. Yeah, nice short call out um, from earlier. I was still waiting for the short. I didn't want to take the short kind of until we broke out of that range. And like I said, you still need 54 to hold up. And that's your pivot at 54. There's the first pivot hit. Yeah, no. Nice retest of the pivot there. Yeah, I don't want to get stopped out on this in case it just comes back up there and retests as that. There, we break that pivot. We're probably getting another push back up to retest this area up here. Guys, we only got about 5 more minutes or so, maybe 10. We have to go to My Funded Futures for a little bit or an hour. Use the 1 minute chart. I haven't used that 1 minute chart in a long time, man. I don't have anything against the 1 minute chart. It's just I'm used to trading off the 5 minute charts. Oh, it shows reversals better. Woo. What time is it here? We still got about 10 minutes left to see if we can let this play out. We broke out of our opening hourly candle. This is a hour low and your 15-minute low. So that'd be a good spot to take your stop loss to. We at least lock in some points just in case this thing comes back up. You really don't want this back through the 40s. You kind of want to see your hourly and 15-minute hold up here. Yeah, a lot of big wicks, man. The big whips is what'll get you. That's why it's important not to, not to oversize on some of these trades. There's a retest of your hourly candle and your 4-hour low. That's also a 4-hour low. If we break 900, I'll move my take profit down to here at the 4-hour low. Come on already. Still retesting that 4-hour low. No, come on. Oh, take profit, new low. Yeah, I know as soon as we broke that. I want to say 54 is the. Dun, dun, dun. So runner didn't take too much there. We were trying to hold and see if we could break this low down here, but as you can see, we just kind of made almost a new pullback on this leg. I didn't really pull fib on that to see what that was. That was probably the last trade of the morning for me until we go to my funded futures, guys. Yeah, nice on the call out, man. On that short from earlier. Where was your entry from? I know you said you were looking at the shorts up there around the 20s or above the 30,000s. Nice. Get a cheap trade in, maybe. Here's your retest at the bottom of the range there. Were you still taking that retest of the 75 or? Like I said, guys, we got about 4 minutes left. You guys are more than welcome to join us on My Funded Futures in about 15 minutes with me and Methodical. We usually end up taking quite a bit of trades over there. Oh, you took profit at the low? Nice. Yeah, nice short, man. Nice retest of our zone here that we have marked out. So bottom of the 75. You're looking for a short at 305. Man, if this thing loses that pivot again, it could push back down here. Your pivot is sitting at 54. Like I said, guys, we only have about a couple minutes left. And we'll go over to My Funded Futures for a little bit. Yeah, that's why I don't usually do good with trading those, Nick. Thank you guys for watching and hanging out today. Sorry, TikTok, for the stream ending a few times. If for some reason, if I do not watch my screen on TikTok, they will close out my live. Unfortunately. John Carter. Oh, goodness. Yep, John Carter will be on My Funded Futures today. Man, I just couldn't pull the trigger on that. I wanted to pull the trigger below that 54 we had marked. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, I have to get my stuff set up to go stream on My Funded Futures. And we'll be back later tonight for the Asia Open. Like I said, you guys are more than welcome to join us on My Funded Futures from 11:30 to 12:30 or 10:30 to 11:30, depending on your time zone. But thank you guys for watching this morning.